Oh no, we're here in China, the worst track on the F1 2014 calendar. We're here in qualifying 2 for round 4 of the F1 2014 career mode, driving as a Ferrari, of course. In the comments, guys, let me know what team you're driving for in your own career mode. I'd be eager to know how you guys are going in there. But either way, here we are in Q2. I think we actually topped the first qualifying session. We jumped straight onto the option tyres. I'm going to save up all my prime sets for the race. We did use one set of primes in practice, of course, and that was due to R&D. I think we were testing some new components, something to do with front stability, which makes absolutely no sense because we're struggling with the rear end of the car. We need rear stability, not front stability. That's the lamest thing I've ever heard from the R&D department. But either way, we're here in Q2, the end of the session. We can see we're 11th place at the moment. The first time that we set was on our first set of options that we used in Q1. So, you know, of course, there's a lot more time to find as we come to the end of this lap now. We'll see where we go. I think we are in a Q3, P6 on a 38.9. 9/10 shy of Lewis Hamilton's pole time provisionally through Q2. But now we cut to Q3. This is our very first lap of the session, going first place on a 139.2. That isn't faster than what we did in the second qualifying session, of course. So definitely still have some more time to find. Next lap we set a 39.3, just shy of our previous best of the session. We returned to the pits, tried to get back out, but unfortunately we just ran out of time. So that was a little bit frustrating, and because of that we've ended up a little bit lower than where we should have. I definitely could have got in the 38s, maybe even a mid 38. I'd be looking at something like Daniel Ricciardo or Sebastian Vettel's time on the third row of the grid. But here we are for the race. China, probably one of my worst tracks in the entire calendar, so I'm not expecting any fireworks to come from this race, but we'll see what we can do. It's more about damage limitation in this race, so we'll see how we go. Starting from 8th place, hopefully we can get off to a really good start here, and now we're just waiting for those 5 red lights to go out, and away we go here in China. Looks like Massa gets off to a really nice start there. Hulkenberg moving forward in this race as well. We can see Bottas around our outside coming into turn 1. Look at all the AI cars going defensive into turn 1, trying to hold that inside line. We're going to try and go up the middle of the Red Bull and between Hulkenberg as well. We find that gap now and into P6. Hulkenberg going wide. The AI going for a more flowing run on the exit of this Snell section. It might work out for him. As you can see, we're going side by side now with Ricciardo, who's moved his way up from 5th all the way up to 4th now, as we got the inside of, is that Rosberg? Yes, it is. We can see Hamilton in the lead of this Grand Prix. So Hamilton already in the early stages of this championship is looking very strong so far. We can see lap 4. Daniel Ricciardo is now trying to pass us around the outside now, coming into this final braking zone at the end of the straight. And from what I've noticed so far this weekend is this Ferrari has actually got a decent amount of straight line speed. So it makes for the third sector being very nice. But what I'm struggling with here around this track is definitely the first sector and the middle sector as well. It seems like I just don't have that rear traction or almost downforce to sort of get the car through the corners a bit better. I was really struggling with the downforce and the turn-in. So we'll see as we go on through this race that becomes more of a factor. As now we can see Sebastian Vettel now getting a really nice run out of that Snell section on the lead up to this back straight. And the AI, because they run traction control, they just have a lot better power down on the exit of that corner. He got past me even before the straight really started, and now we're going back up the inside of Vettel now into the hairpin, and we might just about make the move stick, but we're thinking about doing a pit stop soon. I believe we'll be coming in on lap 8 as we cut to that now. We can see Sebastian trying to go up our inside into the hairpin once again. The AI just getting a really nice run onto the straight, and it's making things very tough for me. As we can see, Vettel actually goes up the inside there, gets the move done now for a podium place or a second place finish provisionally so far. But we come into the pits now, both of us for our first stop of the race. This is the earlier lap of the first stop. Some cars will be coming in on the next lap to do sort of the overcut in regards to the first stop. So now it's a battle between Red Bull and Ferrari. Let's see if the pit stop is good. 4.0 seconds. We had to wait for Bottas and I believe Vettel. So that's a bit frustrating. Oh, it's Massa actually making his stop. I apologize. But coming out on the track now, we can see a couple cars on the track there. I don't think they've made their stops though. we can see we just rejoined in front of Daniel Kvyat, who hasn't made his stop yet. So we've been jumped by Vettel here. We need to get in front of him as soon as we can, maybe on that DRS straight. On this lap, of course, I'll be running in rich revs, that's mix 3, just to burn up all the fuel, maybe try and get past Vettel and make some ground on some of the cars who have made their stops on this next lap. So essentially, around the pit stop time is when you need to push, because the AI in clean air are very fast, so you need to counteract that by burning a lot of fuel. And we can see that the undercut has actually worked quite well for us there. We've gained a few seconds, but still we haven't got past Vettel yet. As we can now cut to lap 10, we're trying to go around the outside through the middle sector, but look at that, the dirty air effect is just absolutely ridiculous. The Red Bull has a ton more downforce than this Ferrari does, but in saying that, you know, I should be able to at least stick with him. It's just impossible to stay with the cars this year. The overtaking is definitely a lot harder due to the reduced downforce and the dirty air effect. It seems to be even more dramatic than what it was on F1 2013. We're coming out of the Snell section now. We'll put the car up into fast, use the slipstream, and possibly, if we're within that 1 second window of the DRS, we'll try and get past Vettel if we can. We can see his teammate, Daniel Ricciardo, right behind us now. He's going to try and make a move on us as we come into the hairpin. He's got a really nice slipstream. But I'm going to try and have a dive at Vettel here. If I don't get him now, he might get away in this race. We go up the inside, shift down into first gear, and we get the move done. We just left him enough room, and that was a fantastic overtake for second place in this race. Very crucial now, as we can see lap 15, getting a wall of understeer going through turn 1. The front left tyre is absolutely on fire in terms of the temperature gauges. I think we have a new contender for the worst corner on this game. The front left tyre just absolutely explodes coming through turn 1. It's an absolute joke. We can see Rosberg now going around our outside into, is this turn 4 or turn 5? I'm not too sure. But either way, we maintain that place. Do we just for now? Rosberg trying to do the switchback, but I don't think it's going to work on this occasion. We just maintain P2 for now. We'll be coming in for our final stop in about 2 or 3 laps time. The prime tyres definitely feeling worse for wear at this stage. China seems to be, once again, a very high degradation style track. As we can see through the middle sector, we got a touch there from Rosberg. And you'll see on the replay here, we get a touch in the left rear tyre. Lucky not to get a puncture there, but we carry on. We can see Alonso now got past Rosberg, and now he's flying up into P2 now. We'll try and use that slipstream. He's going to have DRS though, so we might just about get him back. The slipstream is just strong enough because we're using rich revs as well. We do have a lower downforce setup, so we should be able to maintain some decent straight line speed. As we can see, we've overshot the hairpin, and Rosberg gets past both Ferraris there, so double overtake for him there. He's trying to hold it around the outside into the final corner, and it looks like he's got the move done. He lost the rear end ever so slightly. We have the DRS though. We'll put it up into fast, use the slipstream as well to get up the inside coming into turn 1, and we've got the move done just about. Look at the front left tyre on the temperature graphic there. You can see it's getting very yellow indeed, and that is not helping the tyre wear at all. Just the friction of that, I don't know, even just like the wheel maybe turning too much in my own driving, maybe overheating that front left tyre too much. We can see Alonso just got much better traction off the Snell section, and we'll try and get him back up the inside into the hairpin though. We'll need to watch for the switchback though, as Alonso is very smart in terms of his racecraft, and yes, he's got the move done. Back around the outside now. It's going to be a side-by-side affair through this middle sector. Can Alonso hold around the outside? It turns to the inside, and he's got the move done. We're going to try and do the exact same thing to him, and it looks like we might have just about got the move done. Alonso still hanging in there, and he's got the move done around the outside. That is absolutely fantastic. Alonso, that is just absolutely fantastic. You can have that place. That was just, I've got no words. You just take that. Just go away. I'm going to have to sit down and have a break after that. That was just absolutely ridiculous. But either way, we're still in the podium positions for now. We can see not Alonso. We can see Rosberg trying to go around the outside there on the lead up to that back straight. Lap 17, we still haven't stopped yet. I believe we might be coming in at the end of this lap, getting caught up on the curb there. Inside front lock up there coming into this long right-hander. It put extra load on that front left tyre, so the tyre wear is going to be made even worse now. As we can see Rosberg doing the exact same thing that Alonso did on the previous lap. We'll try and steal some of his slipstream and then get back up the inside into the hairpin. We'll try and mug him off and back up into P3. Watch for that slipstream, oh, not that switchback, rather, once again, just like Alonso did. But we might have just about got him covered a little bit better than what we did to Alonso As you can see, the wheel going crazy there as we ran over the curbing there. So coming into the pits now, double lockup, almost doing what Lewis Hamilton did many years ago at this very spot on the track. And we'll be coming in for a set of prime tyres for our final stop. It's only going to be a 9-lap stint to the end, so the tyre wear normally in F1 games is normally, you know, better in the last stint. So fingers crossed it should be just a little bit easier to get to the finish line here. I believe some of the AI cars actually did the undercut through this middle stint, so they've done not many laps through this middle stint, but they'll need to stretch their tyres out in this final one. As you can see, we got jumped there. I think that was by Rosberg, and we can see is that John-Eric Verne in front of us, Grosjean behind us, and it's all a bit mixed up at the moment because some cars haven't made their stops. So Verne and Grosjean behind us haven't made their stops. We've got a couple cars behind us who are for position behind them, so we'll need to watch out for those guys. As we can see, we're now going on the attack finally, this time on John-Eric Verne, putting the car down into lean because I was down -1 on fuel. I had the slipstream and the DRS anyway, so it was going to be fast in a straight line. You know, may as well save fuel since I know I was going to get that position anyway, and it's a bit of a fuel saving tactic I like to use sometimes. You know, if I can just steal the DRS off of someone, it definitely helps and doesn't cost you too much time in terms of performance or straight line speed. So here we are, lap 26. We can see Nico Hülkenberg has got himself up into P4 now. It's been a fantastic drive from him in that Force India. Definitely outshining his teammate so far this season, who I don't think has nearly had that kind of consistency that Nico has. But now we're cutting to the final lap. We can see Ricciardo has got in front of Hulk, and now he's getting in front of me on the run up through this back straight. He's going to have DRS, I think, and we can see Hülkenberg has got a really nice run on both of us, getting the double slipstream and the DRS. He's going to try and do the overtake on me as well as we come into this hairpin for the final time. We can see Lewis Hamilton has won this race, if I haven't mentioned that already. So Lewis getting a really nice stranglehold on this early phase of the championship. We're coming through the final corner now. We should just about have P4 wrapped up as we lose the back end on the curb. Hülkenberg gets a really nice run, and he's stolen P4 coming across the line at China. What a race that was. We were battling all race long with cars, and we just got mugged off for P4. Very disappointing at the end there, but still very nice race in the end. If you enjoyed that, make sure you leave a like. The next race will be in Spain, I believe, for round 5. As I said before, Lewis Hamilton has won this race from Nico Rosberg, grounding out a Mercedes 1-2. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it a Ferrari 3-4 in China, but I will try and do a little bit better in the next race in Spain. So there we go. That should maintain, you know, a decent spot for us in the Drivers' Championship. Still second place, some 24 points behind Lewis Hamilton, who just looks bulletproof so far in this season. Nico Rosberg only a couple of points behind me in third, with Fernando Alonso drifting off a little bit there in fourth place. In the Constructors, though, I believe Ferrari should be in second place. I think we've got second place just about wrapped up. It seems to be a clear fight between Mercedes and Ferrari so far on this grid in this season. So that's been this episode for today. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. I'll be doing many more F1 2014 career mode videos in the future, online races, all that kind of thing. So stay tuned for that. But until my next video, guys, I'll see you next time.